some other people like collecting stamps and stuff, as with me, I love trains. And I just think they're really good on how they move and how they get the signals and everything to work so that the locos don't crash, which I find really interesting. Well, I suppose it all started when I was 18 months old. My mum bought me a Thomas the Tank Engine video, and really ever since I saw Thomas the Tank Engine, just a big fan of steam locos and trains really. They also took me to the Watercress line where they do days out with Thomas, and that's really how I started to love trains. Now I'm here just talking about them. I like James and I liked Thomas, obviously. You got Gordon, Henry, Percy. Whenever I went to the Watercress line and there were days out with Thomas, I always tried to get the Fat Controller's autograph and a photo with him. And I've got several photographs and several autographs, which is really special because it's once in a lifetime opportunity, because you don't see them that much at the Watercress line. What makes me like trains is loads of things. You got the modern trains, which are really boring the way they just move out of the train station. They sort of really go fast. As with the steam trains, they start slowly and end up going really fast. And I just like the way they move the wheels and the motion of the trains, and I like the sound. As with the modern stuff, it's sort of just like a as with a steam train, it's sort of more like a puffing noise. It's like you've never heard a sound which goes like this. I really love the smell of the smoke, and when you're standing on a bridge and a train comes, I like all the smoke in my hair and all the smell of it on my clothes, and it's just really, really good. When you look at the Watercress line feature of the Steam Gala, there's a numerous of locos which stop at the water tower. And the water tower is really basically a tower filled with water at the top. Yeah, it's held in a square compartment and it's attached onto another hose, which then you can move around, swirl it around into the tender. And really the tender holds the water. Some locos hold about 5,000 gallons of water, which is a lot. In the tender is coal too, so it holds water and coal, and the coal is used to keep this water boiling in the boiler. It will produce steam, which is in the firebox. If the tender doesn't have the water, then it's like a bong on wheels. I'm going to be walking up this path for about half a mile to a bridge, which is a really good sight because you get to see both ways of the train track. And there's a train coming from Basingstoke direction. This is a class 444. They're recently new. They came out in 205, so they're brand new stock. I like coming out of this area because it's nice and peaceful. I like to hear the birds, just like the sound of the countryside. It's quiet and you're not far away from horses and animals, and the sound just makes you happy, especially when I'm in a bad mood. Get a bit stressed, so I usually come out, do a bit of train spotting and come here. There's several other places that I go to, but this one's just more easier for me because it's near my house. I have learning difficulties. I was at a school called Dove House from year 7 to 11. My difficulties are really frustrating. I find it difficult putting words in sentences. I find it hard to read, but I've improved on my reading skills from that school, and it's really helped me a lot. I have maths problems which I do not like, but I've improved massively. I used to wind up everyone about my trains. So I used to go up to the teacher and say, guess what's going to Basing State today? And it's like, what is it now, Jamie? And it's a steam train. And they were like, oh wow, how interesting. My mates, Kirsty, Jess, Cherie, Danielle, David, told me to keep quiet about trains for 6 weeks, and I failed in just like the first day. I went to work experience at Basingstoke train station. I only had 3 hours, which was a pain, because if I stayed there for a week I would have been able to go on the simulator. I went into the ticket office and I helped this guy, which was all a bit boring because I had to count travel tokens. On the last hour I was taken to the information centre. On the platform 1, the guy, he showed me 2 computer screens. Some of them had software, like the times and the tables, what the routes are. The other has a diagram of all the lines. That even includes the points and the sidings, and it tells you that there's a loco on the lines. So it's really interesting. I've got several train simulators at home which are on my computer. I've had loads of practice driving steam trains, diesel trains, EMUs, DMUs, all different sort of trains. I've got Trains, Railway Simulator 1, 2 and 3. So I've had experience with all of them, and it was a shame that I was at this work experience for 3 hours, because if I was there for a week I would have gone on the Railway Simulator and went on a Zero train and drove it on one of their routes. But the simulator would have been really, really good, because it will just help me more learn about controls and the real railway situations. Yeah, it's like you're driving a train for real. You got a cab which has controls and levers and buttons and stuff, and you have to press the buttons at the right time. Well, I've not really got a problem with computers. Computers actually helped me a lot when I was at school. I would like to work with computers. Designing train games, I would love to do that. Just anything to do really with trains. I'll be just happy working as a train dispatch, platform cleaning. Even on the trains I'll be happy, like the guard or working in the restaurant car or the buffet car. I'll just be happy with that because I'll be near trains. I'm at college now. It's Queen Mary's College in Basingstoke. I'm in the LSS support unit, which is the learning support unit. It's basically what they had at Dove House, but a smaller group. I do video production, photography and film studies. During the making of this film I've been editing, producing and taking photos. I'll scan photos, crop them, use camcorders, which helps for my video production. And I would like some of this to go to my college for my college experience, so I can pass video production and photography. I do swimming, I love my swimming, and I do like going on my bike to my train spotting places. Especially during summer times. I spend most of my weekends cycling and walking, because I love walking and I love cycling, and I cycle to most of my train spotting places and walk there too. I walk miles and miles and I cycle a lot, but I do get puffed out, but I just take it easy. It's because I have a heart condition and I do get puffed out easily. I can't even walk for like 2 miles without stopping 3 times. And I have a congenital heart disease, Fontan, but I just call it half a heart because it's easier. They've attached a band onto my heart. I'm hoping to have a heart transplant when I'm older. So when I've matured enough and in adulthood nearly, we'll get another heart. My parents hate me mentioning the word trains. They say to me, life isn't always about your hobby. And I do say to them, I know, but I just can't help it because of my train passion. They've really just been helpful. They've supported me. They've taken me to train expeditions, train shows. They took me to the NRM, which was a really good occasion, and I loved it. And my mum and dad's helped me a lot, supporting me, even though I drive them mad. When they took me to the Watercress sign, it used to be a family trip for me, obviously, because I like trains, but none of my family, like my mum and my dad and my brother, they really hate trains, but they did it for me because they knew I loved it so much. My brother, he hates trains. He has a face like a wet weekend. Most of the time he's eating, which is what he does best. He always says to me, Jamie, shut up, and you're not watching your train videos when I'm in your room. Takes the control off me, and he has fights with me. But really, he did do a lot of things for me, and I really love him for it. He's just a great brother. Then you've got my dad. He used to just fall asleep. He was the driver. He got us there. When he was on the train, he just went kabang like asleep. And my mum, well, my mum was sort of like the dinner lady. She used to carry all the bags, and she used to do a load of things. That's a 444. They've recently been new. So, yeah. Well, where were we off to? My mum used to make the sandwiches in the morning. She took loads and loads and loads and loads of photos of me, and I have loads of albums and stuff. So even though they didn't like it, sometimes they liked it, but I really loved it, and I just wanted to say thanks to him for all the things they did to me when they took me to the Watercress sign. My dad has a mate called Nelson, and they organised a day for me at East Kent Railway. And my dad woke me up at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I was completely tired, and he just said, get some stuff like a raincoat. So I did. We got in the car, and it was like a 3 or 2 hour journey to Kent. It was a steam railway, but my mate, he owned a loco there. He let me go in the cabs of locos. During the end of the day, when we were just about to go, Nelson said, Jamie, come in with me and your family can come. So we went in, one of the cab locos. Nelson said to me to sit in the driver's seat. I was like, okay, I weren't sure what was happening. But then the driver of the train came over to me and said, what's your name? And I said, Jamie. And he said, well, Jamie, you're going to be driving a train for a bit. And I was like, whoa. My face just lit up. But I was amazed, and I've got a certificate to prove that I'd driven a train. And I was only about 10 years old.